People that are targeted by emotionally abusive personalities, if you ask me, are special people, are people that they are intelligent, capable, beautiful, with a lot of light. They have everything going for them, but they have been made believe that they are not enough, that they are not good enough, that they don't have whatever. Why? Because they're so empathic. They're people that are very empathetic. They prefer to look at the other person first, and if that person is okay, I'm okay. Value yourself, value yourself. Set boundaries, protect yourself. My mission here is to be emotionally abusive repellent, okay? In this channel we want you to be a repellent to narcissistic people, because these people want to control you, they want to manipulate you. Why? Because you have so much to give, and they want that. So I want you to protect that. That's your right. You are so valuable. I don't want you to give that to anybody that doesn't deserve it and that you don't want to give it to, right? So don't let anybody make you change your mind. Don't let anybody make you doubt about yourself. Never again. That this is your right. You are valuable, You are people that have a lot to give. I mean, my clients are the best, and all of them are giving, are loving. Oh my God, if they could see themselves like I see them and everybody else sees them, because they're basing themselves on abusive people, right? So the mirror of an abusive person is awful, because they will spit bad things to you, like negative things, make you doubt and confuse you. Confusion, that dense air, with abusive people. Don't let that be your reality. Your reality is different, see it for what you are, really. Take notes, write it down. What are your good qualities, Have a mental idea of what you are, really, really, objectively. You help others, you are positive, you are light on this earth. So please use boundaries. So now let's go to a few ideas that I want to share with you about boundaries. Okay. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about boundaries, because I know it's hard for many of you to even know what you want and decide for yourself what it is that you want. And that is not because you have a problem or you are defective in some sort of way. No, that's not the case. This is because you've been conditioned to be that way. If you've been in a relationship where your wants, your needs, everything you aspire to do, things that you like, are continuously denied, left for later, or suppressed, repressed, ignored even, or if whenever you try to express yourself and say what it is that you want, you received a negative response from the other, feedback from the other part, of course, it's only natural that you're going to be this way. That it's going to be hard for you to not people please, right? Because you're conditioned to be a people pleaser. You're conditioned to think about that narcissistic person first, or the person that is emotionally abusive. And of course, you may be very empathic as well, because again, you are programmed to be this way, okay? So that you can accommodate to others, and so it's very hard to start setting boundaries. And I wanted to talk about that, because sometimes we have to start from the beginning, So what I want you to know is to start thinking about things that you want and that you like, writing them down, or just taking mental note of what it is that you like and you prefer. That would be great, because that's a way for you to know first what you want, separate yourself from that enmeshment. That is very typical in abusive relationships. When a person is abusive, they want to control you, they want to enmesh with you, so that they can control your decisions and that you can do what it is that that person wants you to do. So it's only natural that you develop this way of being with others, that involves you letting the other person decide for yourself what you want, because that's the only way of keeping you sane, basically. Because sometimes when people are in abusive relationships, they realize that when they say no, there will be a backlash, right? It could be devaluing, like they would devalue you. They could deny what you say, or they could just get angry, plain angry, and won't tolerate what it is that you want. We should start by doing that, by knowing what it is that we want. That's the first thing. A boundary implies that you're saying no to someone, right? And let's turn that around. If you say yes to somebody and you really don't want to say yes to that person, you will be saying no to something else. So this involves being responsible for what it is that you want, owning it, and being okay with mistakes. You have to be okay with making a mistake and making bad choices, making a bad decision, but the best thing is that it'll be yours. It'll be your decision. It'll be your mistake, okay? And it's fine. You can make mistakes, you're human. People make mistakes. And also know that this is your right. This is your right. To say no is your right. To set a boundary is your right. You have a right to say what you want. Also, you have a right to express your feelings, to say, yeah, I don't think I want to do that, without being angry, without being, like you're feeling guilty or like giving too many explanations. You can just say no. It feels so good once you start doing it. The first thing that you're going to feel is not good at all. Like you feel it here in your stomach. You feel like it's not a good thing to set boundaries, because at first it doesn't feel good because you've been conditioned to not say no. Okay, so when you start doing that, you start feeling a bit not very good. But then once you see that that's a way for you to protect yourself, boundaries are protection between you and other people. And that doesn't mean that you're mean, that you're a person that is doing something with evil intent to other people. You're just saying no because of your preferences, of what you want to do, of what you would like to do. That doesn't mean you're a bad person for setting a boundary, okay? So you can say it just as you say to the waiter, yeah, I'd like some water, please. You can say, yeah, no, thank you. No, I won't be doing that today. So just say no, and when you start doing that, you see, okay, so people don't actually get weird and angry and crazy when I say no. Try that with normal people first, so that you can do that with narcissistic people later. So, because you will see that normal people take boundaries very well. They say, oh, okay, yeah. Their thinking goes like this, like, I completely understand because I do the same thing, normal people, healthy people set boundaries. And so if you set a boundary, that will be okay for them. So don't worry about that, okay? You'll be surprised what normal people are very nice to hang out with, So it has to do a lot with getting rid of that programming that you suffered with a narcissistic and abusive person, that slave mentality where you are conditioned to say yes all the time because otherwise you will get the punishment for saying no. And it's completely understandable why it's hard for you right now to set boundaries, but when you see that way, that you've been conditioned to do this, right? You've been programmed to say always yes, and so this is your moment, this is your time to go back to humanity, get rid of that slave mentality and start thinking about what you want. Write it down. Maybe that's an exercise I'm giving you. Maybe write it down, maybe make mental notes, and throughout the day just yeah, I like this. Oh yeah, remember what you like, talk to yourself. That's healthy. You can have a dialogue with yourself. In fact, it's a good thing to do that. That's how you know yourself, and yeah, you get to know your likes and dislikes. One more thing that I want to say is that when you set a boundary, don't worry about the person that is receiving that. You set a boundary, you don't have to take care of that person yet. You don't have to manage that person, to be responsible for the consequences of having said no to another person, okay? You are used to that because you've been conditioned to believe that you're in charge of the other person's mood, okay? You're not in charge of that. That's not your responsibility. You saying no just speaks about yourself. It doesn't mean that you're saying anything about the other person, right? You're protecting yourself. And so that doesn't mean you're being a bad person and all that, because I get that with my clients a lot. They believe that they are being sort of the bad guy when they say no, for example, because they were conditioned to believe that. Many people growing up had parents that wouldn't allow them to express themselves, to express their wants and needs. So it's completely understandable. So know that you're not in charge of the other person's reaction. You can only control yourself, just yourself. That's it. Barely, right? So we can barely control ourselves. So we cannot help others in that way, what they have to deal with themselves. And maybe if they go to therapy and they show an effort of doing things for themselves, that would be great, and that's great. But more likely than not, people that are manipulative and narcissistic don't really work on themselves, right? They work on you. They want you to do things. They want you to give them supply. So yeah, don't worry about the backlash. Don't worry about anything from the other person. I'm saying this. You do you, You control yourself. Like, you are in charge of yourself. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. With good intent, of course, with good intentions, and of course you won't be doing things that will be harmful for others. I'm sure about that, but you know what I mean, Just, you won't say things that are terrible for others. You're just protecting yourself. You're just saying no, okay? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about boundaries today, and I hope that was helpful and you can put them to practice. Practice. That's all about practicing and getting in touch with yourself, with what you want, what you like. That's I would say the first thing that you need to address. What is it that I like? What is it that I want? So that you can be clear on your boundaries and what you really want to do, not do, It's all about self-care. That's a huge part of self-care. So I hope you can put that to practice. Please subscribe to this channel, leave a like, share it if you find it interesting and useful, if you think that someone will benefit from this. And I hope I can see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.